Anthony Ashley Cooper, 10th Earl of Shaftesbury, was a wealthy British peer known for his conservation work on his 9,000-acre estate. In late 2004, he traveled to the French Riviera and disappeared without a trace. Weeks passed until, on the 5th of April 2005, hikers found his skeletal body under a laurel tree in a remote Cannes ravine. The discovery of the Earl's murder sent shockwaves through high society, transforming a missing person mystery into a grisly crime story. Lord Shaftesbury was more than a title. He was a famed tree planter and philanthropist who had planted over 1 million trees and served as a conservation society president. On paper, he had everything: wealth, land, and even celebrity respect. But behind this veneer of privilege was a private life fraught with drama. Even as reporters praised the nature-loving lord, undercurrents of a darker scandal were already stirring. Into this world stepped Jamila Mubarak, a former Riviera escort with a mysterious past. In 2002, the Earl, then in his 60s, married the glamorous French-born Tunisian under the name Sarah. Soon he lavished her with gifts, a £500,000 flat in Cannes, and property titles transferred to her name. Overnight, she became the Countess of Shaftesbury. Onlookers thought she had secured a fairy tale, but questions swirled about how quickly she captured the Earl's heart and his fortune. The marriage turned volatile. Jamila claimed to be pregnant and was added to the Earl's will, but the baby never came. Meanwhile, the Earl grew distant, even beginning divorce proceedings. In a fateful twist, investigators later testified the real motive. An argument regarding a divorce from Jamila was caught on camera. The promise of happily ever after had curdled into a bitter custody battle over money and status. On 5 November 2004, Lord Shaftesbury dined with friends in Nice. He said he needed fresh air and disappeared into the night. Days passed without word. Friends issued pleas. The media speculated about foul play. Was he hiding? Had he run off with someone else? No one suspected that a body lay waiting to be found, until tragedy forced the truth to light. In April 2005, in a garbage-strewn canyon off the Riviera, a hiker stumbled on bones. It was the Earl. The coroner's report was brutal: a shotgun blast to the head and strangulation marks. Police officially ruled it murder. This quiet garden of Europe had become a crime scene. Even in death, the Earl's life was shattered into shocking headlines: a British peer assassinated abroad. The investigation zeroed in fast. No strangers were seen with him that night. Instead, all eyes turned to those closest. By mid-2005, 2 arrests were made. His own estranged wife Jamila and her brother Mohamed were detained in custody. Reporters couldn't believe it. The Earl's murder suspects were family. A nation watched in disbelief as police hinted this was no random crime, but a carefully hatched betrayal. In court, Jamila fiercely denied planning a murder. She admitted helping load the body into a car, but insisted, "I did not want him to die. I just wanted my brother to intimidate him." Mohamed, on the other hand, gave a chilling confession. Both painted the Earl as volatile. Jamila even claimed he was a loner prone to rage. It was a web of lies and self-defense, each painting the other as the true killer. The forensics told another story. Experts noted the Earl's broken larynx, a voice box fractured from savage strangling. Mohamed had admitted the killing, but medical evidence confirmed it was far from an accident. Meanwhile, investigators found damning proof. Police had tapped Jamila's phone. In a recorded call, she arranged a £100,000 fee for her brother to make it go away. Data logs even placed her cell phone at the crime site days before the murder. Each clue tightened the noose around the accused. The French trial opened in May 2007, becoming a media spectacle. Prosecutors portrayed Jamila as an escort girl who loved the high life, plotting murder to save her bank account. Jamila sat elegantly in court, her demeanor cold as she denied the charges. The sala was packed. Tabloids dubbed it Lady Shaftesbury's trial, with everyone waiting to see if this countess was a calculating killer or a desperate widow. In a dramatic twist, Jamila took the stand. To silence whispers, she casually name-dropped famous lovers: George Clooney, Bruce Willis, even royalty, claiming she had always been prosperous and needed no husband's money. She insisted the payments to her brother were for their ailing mother, not a hit job. The courtroom gasped as Jamila painted herself a wronged wife, but jurors privately noted her elaborate stories and zero documented wealth of her own. After 7 days of evidence, the case rested. The jury retired for just 2 hours. Rumors swirled in the press. Would the Black Widow Countess walk free? When they returned, the verdict was swift and unanimous. Jamila and her brother were both guilty of premeditated murder. In a courtroom stunned into silence, the judge confirmed each would serve 25 years behind bars. High society was scandalized. A noble title had just been legally branded with cold-blooded murder. The sentence was draconian, but expected. Jamila Mabarek, once a countess, was sentenced to 25 years in a French prison. Mohamed Mabarek received the same. On appeal, her term was later reduced to 20 years, but the message was clear. Justice was served. The image of the glamorous Duchess of Det was shattered forever. In the dock, she was no aristocrat, just another criminal convict, branded by a social pageant turned nightmare. The Shaftesbury murder became legend among true crime fans. Jamila's fate remained uncertain to the public. Prison records note her released status in time. Back in Dorset, the Earl's young sons grew up without their father, heirs to a legacy tainted by scandal. Newspapers had no sympathy for the fallen aristocracy. Instead, they played the episode for moral lessons. The world watched. Even lords can die at the hands of those they love, and no title protects against betrayal.